Okay, I'm gonna do another reading today because the energy is just like completely different. Are you feeling this? It's like, oh my God. I mean, first of all, I came back from Columbus, that house I'm at in the weekends in the desert, and like all of my trees. Do you see these trees? You can see. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All of the leaves on my trees are out. It's like I stepped into like a completely different land, which, um, 4 days. Okay, it's warm. There's trees. Anyway, it's just nothing is random. Nothing is not connected to everything else. So it's like all of a sudden I'm back in this lushness. I'm back in the garden. I mean, if you watched that other reading, that was kind of the invitation. Like, do you want to come into the garden? Do you want this Six of Pentacles, Taurian, abundant, like, flow with the divine mother energy? And it's like, that's just where I'm at. So anyway, I want to read and just see like what else wants to come through. I like to tune in and get that channel going when I have energy like this, because there's just so much flowing through, so I can really just channel, versus when I'm not in that space, and I'm kind of working through something, that it's a different experience. But anyway, so I don't know if I'll post this or not. I just like to move with the energy, right? And obviously if I had the YouTube channel up, I would post on there, but I don't yet. So if I post on Facebook again, just because when you create something, when you pull something through you and it comes through your unique vessel, you want to share that self-love. So, if you're not interested, that's fine. Just don't watch. But, I got to complete my process. If I post this, if you're watching, then you are. Anyway, okay. So let's just see. Let's dive in. Just looking at all this green, and there are all these shadows out, across the street from my trees, on the other trees. All these layers and layers of green. My cards are green. I am green. I should be wearing green. Okay, so interesting. Wow, it's interesting. So we get the Four of Cups with the Patience card again. If you watched that last one, this was the card we got before. Let me get one more. Let me get one more card from the other deck and see. I think I know what this is. Let's just see what else. And there's her again. The Choice. The two, there's I have to remember where the thing is. The two of Pentacles. Okay, so she's looking at these two flowers, She's her hand like this too. Like, which one am I going to choose? So we're still in this choice energy. Okay. So the Four of Pentacles, this is like the silky card, right? Like you're a silky. That's your soul. You live in the water. You remember the water. You remember the soul. You remember the oneness. But you're in this world. You're a mermaid. Is she a mermaid? Yeah, she's a mermaid. Look at that tail. You're a mermaid, but you're on the dry land. And you feel like a siren. You feel the constant call to the fluidity, to the flow, to the water, to the remembrance. And it won't leave you alone. It won't leave you alone. And you're holding that pearl. You're holding it. It's yours. It's with you all the time. In fact, you're surrounded by pearls. You're practically juggling them. But it's your pearl. It's like you're not missing anything because it's with you. It's your soul. You're not missing anything, but you feel that you are. So again, it's this Temperance card, this Patience card, like where this is taking time. This is taking time because we have to choose it. It's kind of similar energy, but it's like closer because, this one is that watery world of remembrance. It's like she's come center stage, she's like, hey, do you hear me now? This is what's real. The soul life is what's real. This dry world of like, well, I don't know, I don't know. maybe this is all there is. Maybe, maybe I'm just stuck here. Maybe, maybe all these things I feel all the time just aren't real, and I should just, be okay with running inside the boundaries that have been defined for me as like okay to play in. I shouldn't try to, sorry, I'm going on and on and on. I shouldn't try to, chasing pipe dreams, whatever. Okay. So yeah, it's a process. It's a process. But my point was, she's getting louder, She's like, hey, we need to have a conversation. We need to have a conversation. There's so much I want to show you. There's so much that is available to you right now. She's pretty serious, She's kind of like, maybe it's time, It's time. I want to show you everything that you have access to. I want you to see. I want you to see what's available here. I'm bringing it to you. Can you choose it, please? All right, let's see. Well, I feel like I'm coming through in kind of this like, wait, but that's kind of the energy I'm getting from her. Let's see what else. Okay, that's interesting. So we get the Hangman and the Seven of Cups. So look at her. She has all these different things in front of her. This is a card of like feeling into the infinite potential, like allowing yourself to daydream. So here we are. It's like there's this energy right now of I'm just going to lay back in the hammock. I'm going to take the day off. I'm going to go lay on the forest floor and I'm going to daydream. I'm going to daydream about what I want. I'm going to reconnect with my inner child. I'm going to reconnect with my Silky, my soul. I'm going to choose to do this. And I'm going to suspend also this, suspend this kind of like mundane energy. And I'm going to allow myself to daydream and to feel into like what feels true to me if I allow myself that time and that space to let it all go. What arises up from within me? What do I have access to? What parts of me do I remember? What do I feel drawn to? What do I want to think about, And then this card, the Three of Wands, the Three of Fire, it's like for me, this card has a couple different meanings, but the one that I'm thinking of right now is kind of like this card of guidance. Like she's in this boat. God, that reminds me of a dream that I had. I was in this, it was when I was leaving, I was getting out of a bad situation and I was really scared to do it. And I had this dream that I was in the bottom of a boat and it was pitch dark and I thought I was all alone and I was so scared. And then a candle lit and they told me to go up to the top of the boat. And I went to the top of the boat and there were these trees with these huge fruits. They were like a combination of like a papaya and an avocado. I'm wondering if anybody else has had dreams like this. My daughter had very similar dreams, but her and I always dream together and read each other's minds and everything. And I just like reached out. It was like right over the boat, it was like right there. And so I just instinctively reached down. It just came off. And then there was a guide beside me, which is funny. That's what I was going to say about this card as well, as the guide. And I was like, oh my God, I felt like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. Like wasn't my place to take this fruit. And they were like, no, that's for you. That was for you. That's why I brought you up here. And I just knew I was going to be okay. I knew I wasn't in the dark. I knew there was light. I knew there was guidance. And I got out of that situation and had to go through hell for like 10 years, but I was, I was guided. So this is what this card often represents to me, because she's in this boat. There's no motor, there's no like, she's not doing anything. She's just sitting in it, and it's kind of like floating through the stars, but it has this, it has these candles, these sparks that are like the sparks of, of like spirit communication, the sparks of like in my dream, where it was the candle that came on, where all of a sudden I was in communication with this part of me, or this assistance. And so that's what this card sometimes, like right now, means for me, is there's all this guidance in how to move forward, and that we are moving forward. And that's the other thing this card always represents to me is probably to everybody that reads tarot, but whatever. That we're moving forward on our path. Like Three of Wands reminds me actually of hawk energy, where it's like you're on the right path. You're on the right path. You're reading the signs. You're being guided, and you're going where you want to go. So it's like these three cards together are a little bit more information from what we got in the beginning, where it's like we're in this time right now where we might be feeling into our wishes and our dreams, and that's the exact right energy to kind of like check out a little bit and get in the garden, get in the green, play in the abundance of this time of year, depending on where you're at, which hemisphere you're at. Even if not, go into your own garden, your own lushness, and that's how we're moving forward at this time. We're moving forward through being in touch with our dreams, our desires, our wishes, our big wishes, not our confined wishes, our like I might be fucking crazy wishes, and just allowing that space and that time. It's a little bit interesting to me, and then of course her as well, because she's such an access point. Like to me in this reading, she's really representing that like this, this is the same energy. It's water. They're under the ocean. They're in their memories. They're in their Akashic records. This is all the things we have access to right now. That if we open and we get into that in between quantum space, and we allow ourselves to open to that, and we give ourselves the space, meditation, whatever, however you do it, dancing, driving, nature, however you access, talking with people. We allow ourselves this time to connect. We choose to do that. And it's just interesting that those cards came up first. I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like these cards were in the last reading. So there's still a process going on, and it still involves a choice, choosing. But this time coming with her, it's like we have access now. That's what this feels like to me. We have this access. We have this access, making time to tune into that, and then moving forward, connecting with our guidance, connecting with those aspects of ourselves that are right there, ready to come online. Like what are you remembering? What are you interested in? What books are you reading? What movies are you drawn to, or shows, or whatever? Like what, if it's historical in any way, like paying attention to what's coming through. Again, that hawk medicine. What are the signs? What are the colors that keep coming up for you? What are the thoughts? What are the dreams? Like, can you track it and piece it together and gain access, and start to trust yourself, and to put it together, and to know that you're tapping into your soul. You're tapping into your soul, and that your soul is calling to you. It's calling to you now, and it's asking for your attention, but it's also giving you a lot of clues, and just to listen. So I'm really curious what might come up to clarify this. That's too many. My daughter will take like 10 cards. She'll take 10 cards and she'll place them all around, and she'll read them all, and she knows exactly what they're saying, and she'll read the placements. Like she's like me, like times 10, she's something else. But I accept what I got. Okay. Oh, well, Two of Cups. But for me, I mean, what is union of feminine and masculine they have one cup. This is all of us. This is all of us. This union. And look how their heads are like hearts. The heart. The union of the feminine and the masculine within each of us. This is kind of tying to the other reading too, with the Queen of Cups that had that one cup and she knew what was in that cup. It's like, when we turn towards our heart, we turn towards our intuitive knowing, we lean into drinking from this cup to know, we don't have a rogue, a rogue inner masculine that's just like, I'm going to follow this thing out here. I don't care what you have to say. We're not working together. I'm just going to follow this program, or I'm going to follow this conditioning, or I'm going to follow what everybody else is doing. Like, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not gonna listen. Whoops! I just spit. I'm not gonna listen to the the soul. But here he is. They're working together. She's bringing it through, and he's taking action on it. He's leaning in. What's that? Oh, we're gonna do this. Okay, we're gonna do this. They're working together. They're working from that heart space. They wear the same crown. They are the same. They are the same. And so they're not like looking at each other. They're not like, oh, this is about you and I and no, they're tuning into the same channel. They're listening and they're working together to honor that which they're hearing and that which they're receiving. And it's an offering to the world. That's the God fractal. We listen to that which is beyond and we take action on it. We bring it forward. We bring our guidance forward. And then we're weaving our unique version of God onto the planet. We're contributing. And we have to choose that. We have to choose to tune in, to take the time out, to tune in, and to access those higher parts of us that are all there. They're available all the time. All we have to do is flip the script and tune in. It's right there, wanting to be offered to us, to bring it into union with our physical selves. So, the Two of Pentacles, that's the earth that's down here on the planet. Like, can we plant? Yeah. Can we plant these two? These two or these two? Can we plant them on the earth? Can we plant our unique expression? Getting our polarities together in union together and then planting it on the earth to contribute what only we can contribute. We can do that now. That's the energy. That's what I'm seeing. I was a little thrown because these are like some of these same cards. Maybe some of that old energy is still there, but it's whole next level now. It's a whole next level, different message. So, okay, I'm going to get a little bit more. And let's see. Yeah, okay. So Ten of Fire. And this is all, these are all, almost like contracts, right? Like, look, they're pages, there's writing, and she's burning all of them. She's burning all of them away. What is that? Oh, that's her hand. Wow, I never noticed that. Look at how red her hand is. It's so red. Oh my God. Like she's practically catching on, I got really white. She's practically catching on fire. She's been at this a really long time. They're all on fire. Ten of Wands, Ten of Fire. They're all burning off. She's burning off all those old contracts, all those loyalty contracts, all those, commitments to things that don't feed her soul. It's like, oh, well, I can't do this because I have this and I have this and I have this person and they expect this of me. It's like the time of like doing things out of obligation or out of habit or out of people pleasing, lack of boundaries, the habit of just getting sucked into things. It's like, if we're gonna do this, if we're gonna access our codes, if we're gonna bring it all into wholeness, and come back into that true alignment. It's like we got to let go a lot. We're letting go of a lot. But look, she's already done that. She's burning them all. Like, she's still in the task, but it's like she's made so much progress. She's been at this for so long. She's literally gonna lose her hand. I believe I never noticed that. And she's reading them. So that's the other thing. Look at how she's looking. Like, she's looking at that. I don't know if you can see it. She's looking at that one as she burns it. And that's kind of how it is, right? And I know some people are going through this right now, where it's like when a contract comes up to be burned, or when something from our past comes up into awareness, and it brings up emotions, it's like we have to look at it. We have to look at it as it's releasing. And we know if we're seeing it and we're feeling it and we're in that fire again and we're like, well, what the hell? That was like 20 years ago, and like, oh my God, I'm just feeling this again. We know that it's burning off. That's how we burn it off. So we can celebrate those, what might feel like a relapse, or like a back step, or just a confusing, like, I thought I cleared this, why is this up again? It's like we look at it, we feel it, and then it's like we're feeling it because it's leaving, right? It's leaving, and we have to continue to do that, to kind of like one time I woke up and I heard there's lots of higher fire when the room isn't clear. It's like when we have all this stuff inside of us, all of this that wants to come in, that's ready to be downloaded into us, to have access to in our embodied state. It can't come in because there's no room. All of this, higher fire isn't really the right word in this case, but it just stays outside of us. But when we do that clearing work and we release and we allow those burns, then we have room. And so I feel like that's what this is saying, the way it's like so clear in this card, that like all of these are burnt. She's been at this a really long time, that it's like we do have room for this. And it's so easy. Again, it's the same message. It's like all this is accessible. It's all right there. All we have to do is make the time for it, to allow these pearls, that we are, that we've carried with us, that we've lived and accessed and had throughout lifetimes, to come into alignment through our unified field. It's like we have it. We have this cup. We have it, and and we're choosing it. And we can choose it in every moment. We can choose it. We're guided. It's still a process. We're still we're still, it's not like, we're still at it. It's still, the alchemy. We're still doing the clearing, but we can do it at the same time, and we can receive, and we can start to play with the aspects of ourselves that are coming online and that are able to work with us and guide us. We can allow them to guide us, and we can play, and we can bring our unique contribution down, and we can build together. What's that? Yeah. Okay. So there it is. That's the Knight of Pentacles. This is my mission card. This is like, we committed to this path a long time ago. We've been on it a very long time, even though we've forgotten. And this is a long journey that we're dedicated to, even when we don't remember. Our souls won't let us forget. It's like, despite whatever like rut we might be in, there's always that one thing that sneaks through that like keeps us on our path. That one person we synchronistically meet that activates us, or whatever. So what is he? Okay. Oh, look at that. He he's holding sticks, but they're in the shape of a star. And it's a pentacle, so the Knight of Pentacles. So that's a pentacle thing. But in this moment, it's a star. And the star card is one of alignment, and it is one where we again have access. We have access to our soul, to those aspects of ourselves, to our guidance. And so he's holding that in his hands, and he's looking at it. And what's interesting is like he's not like looking up in the sky like she is. She's finding it. He's bringing it down, and just like this one, bringing it down, planting it. He's looking down. He's kneeling on the ground. He has his star, his alignment in his hands, in his earthly hands that are here to build on the earth plane. That's the mission. That's the work together. I'm curious. It's fun when you get a read of the energy and then the cards just like perfectly match that. There it is again. This is the card from last time, the Six of Pentacles. So that's, again, that's the garden. You know, that's the garden where you've done the work. You've done the work and you're in alignment. Yeah, you're in alignment. You're in alignment with the energy that allows you to hear and receive and plant and contribute. And because of that, because you're in right alignment, your birthright is to receive. When you're turning towards your soul and you're taking action on that, and you are that God fractal of inner union with your masculine and your feminine energy, then you're in alignment with cosmic law. And when you're in alignment with cosmic law, it's your birthright to receive. It's your birthright to have abundance of all your needs met and for things to flow. Because that's just how this world, that's how it was intended to be. And, we had all these weird karmic things we had to do, and all these ways that we forgot and gave our power away and gave it over to other people, and all these things we had to clear up, and we were on a descending age, and it's like now we're things are different now, and things are possible that weren't before. And so again, this is our birthright. And so this was the card that came as sort of like what we were stepping into last time, and here it is, our last card. Wow, I talked for 26 minutes. Oh my gosh. So for sure, last card here. But again, they're in the garden and everything. It's like my dream, just the fruit, like effortlessly. You just reach up, and there it is, and it's for you. It's for you. Like you were never meant to be trapped in the dark in like horrible karmic situations. You were meant to awaken, have that candle come on, that candle, spark. You sparked your inner knowing, and now you get to have this fruit. Yeah, just move. Let these sparks, these inner sparks, move you. Let your knowing, let your access to your soul and all that you've done throughout all your lifetimes, all that you have access to, let it flood in and through, and plant it on the earth in service to all, and abundance is yours. So it's kind of like there's the code, there's the key, there's the objective, but here we land in the garden, as is our birthright. So I'm going to do one more card. I'm staring at this deck, so I'll do this one. Temperance again. Wow, Temperance. Okay, so we got that card twice. Patience is actually Temperance in the different deck, and yeah, it's funny. I had a dream like that too once, where I was pouring this water back and forth. This is before I even got into tarot cards or anything, or definitely didn't have this deck. But there were these two geodes, and I was pouring water back and forth between these geodes, and I was just pouring it back and forth, pouring it back and forth, pouring it back and forth. And then all of a sudden, I just knew it was done. I just knew it was done, and I put them down, and there were like other things, going on in the background, and but anyway, that's kind of how the Temperance card is. Like, you just work it. It's like kneading dough, you just work it, and you work it, and eventually like, okay, it's ready. Now I can sit it. Now it can rise. But I think maybe just that being our ending card, it's like, yes, this is our birthright, and yes, we are here on mission, and we are planting our God spark, and we are uniting our polarities so that we can hear and receive access to all that is available to us right now to come in, because we've done, we've done this clearing. And yet also just that reminder of like, and there's so much more, there's so much more that's weaving behind the scenes. There's just such this bigger picture, this bigger alchemy, this bigger, we're all at where we're at. We're all part of the same collective, but we're all holding different pieces, Somebody's weaving the red, somebody's weaving the yellow, somebody's weaving the brown and the green, and it's like we don't even know. Like when one person's doing this, we don't know what that person's doing. We can't understand. We can only understand our own alignment, our own, and yet there's such a bigger picture going on in that, in the pieces that we're all bringing together. They're being woven together, and it's a really big process. It's like so much bigger than we can even see what we're doing, even just in a little instance of like, I actually don't feel like going to that gathering. I just don't feel like it, and maybe the old him would be like, well, you should, because everybody else is going and you said you would go. But instead he's like, we're not going then. We need to rest. You don't even have to explain yourself. You just don't. Even in a simple thing like that, just being in alignment with ourselves and our desires or lack of desires, or, just a simple act like that is still weaving this beautiful web and thread for all of humanity. Even little things are part of that mission that we've been working on for forever. So I think it's interesting. I felt to draw one more card, and we did get this card twice. And this is one that I was like, I don't know, I just kind of had a block about it. But look, there's a star here too. So there's the star again. It's like right behind her head. It's almost like, it's like we're bringing it down, but we've been working on this a really long time. This is a really big deal. And we're working on it together. This is a collaborative effort. This is definitely a collaborative effort, but, it happens individually. Each one of us, tuning into our own channel and focusing on that and that alone. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. It does, but it's none of our business, just getting our own channel going, bringing it down, doing our part, trusting the grand symphony. This can be like a symphony card too, it's like there's just this other process that involves all the elements weaving together, and like nature, it knows what it's doing. It just does it. That's how humans are too. We just do what we do, and we stay in our own lane, and it all comes together. And so anyway, that's I think the parting message, and I hope that was helpful to some of you. And thank you for watching if you did, and yeah, just thank you for your God spark, for your contribution, for your process, for your courage, for your trials, for your crawling through the gutters and shining your light and all the things. And I just love the message of the unity and the collaboration, and just really feeling that telepathic network where we're all here in this together, pulling through what's true. It makes me want to cry. It's beautiful. Thank you. Bye.